Welcome to In This Season podcast, where we unpack the most empowering conversations, have exclusive and inspirational interviews, and host special events. Join Tammy, some call her Butterfly, and explore life's purpose by learning how to embrace each season of your life with confidence, strength, and purpose. Whether you're blooming in the spring, or shining in the summer, or embracing change in the fall, or gracefully hibernating in the winter, get ready to be inspired. Join us right here on this season of In This Season podcast with your host, The Butterfly. It's time, no matter what season it is.
Hello, Bebop.
Hey, Mama, how you doing, sweetie?
Ooh, I'm doing.
Doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I was trying to tag some people, some of our regulars. I couldn't get everybody in, so I don't know what's going on with that, but hopefully they will see us. This is our catch-up show. So we're not going to try. We're going to start November 1st off with November 1st, right?
Right.
Brandon?
Yeah, so what happened was we got behind maybe about, a week or
One
two
day.
ago? Yeah, we
Yeah.
got about a week or two ago, we got behind by one day, wasn't able to do the podcast in that morning. So we decided to, before the next month comes in, we are going to catch up. And what a day or a night to do it. So let's go on with the show.
All right, let's do it. Everybody.
Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, welcome, and hopefully you got to feed the ducks twice in a row. If you listened earlier, you'll be on tonight. So let's just get right into it, Brandon. They will see it now or later.
Sounds good to me. Well, y'all, welcome to this show. This is the In This Season podcast. I am the co-host, Brandon Gator, and I am the son of the beautiful and lovely Butterfly right there, my mother. And so as we do this catch-up episode, know that every single morning at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, we are live with the In the Season podcast, and you can find us here on Facebook Live or here on YouTube. So if you can do us that favor, go over to the YouTube, type in This Season podcast. It's up there to that corner on that side where I was pointing. Type that in, go to YouTube, because I don't know if they left or right. I'm like, just that's
one of the sides.
One of the sides, right? I've got it to where if I'm throwing the opposite this way, it's going to. So yeah. But anyway, guys, go to the YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so that you can just instead of waiting and seeing and am I on time, you'll get those notifications straight to your phone. So thank y'all so much, and on with the show. So what we do every single morning, if you don't already know, is go through the book Daily Motivations for African American Success by Dennis Kimbro. Here's the book. Mom, show off her brand new book that she got. Mom was using an old book, y'all. An old book that you couldn't really read. She ordered it and kind of got gypped. They snuck her on Amazon, and she didn't get the right book. But that's the book. Dennis Kimbro, the author. Please support this African American, this black author. He has a lot of great books, and we've learned a lot from it, right? This book has become our friend. Hopefully we can get in touch with him and do a show with him. A little bit more about this book. Daily Motivations for African American Success will help you focus on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead to the achievement of your true goals in 365 short but powerful motivations, one for each day of the year. Dennis Kimbro, the author of Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes and when to say no, and to look inward for answers to life's challenges. So each one of these motivations begins with words of wisdom or a quote from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans as Malcolm X, Marion Wright Elderman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Galt, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, Mother Hale, Reverend Leon Sullivan, and hundreds of others. I saw Spike Lee in there, Oprah Winfrey, a lot of different people. So this treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year. But what it teaches will last you a lifetime. All right. So every day we read one of these daily motivations. There's a great story and passage. We offer our insights, what I think about it, what Mom thinks about it, see what y'all think about it, have a discussion, and leave a little bit for contemplation as you go about your way. But over to you, Mom. Anything on your side?
No, I'm good. I want to jump right into it. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. So I can see I'm the reader, but Mom, she got the wisdom. So she always shares her insights first, right? And then sometimes she reverses it on me. Sometimes she's like, nah, this one's on you. But today she's gonna go first. I'm gonna call it. And, I'm riding shotgun.
I haven't read this one.
Yeah. See, I
never
read
them. You never read them because Mr. Google, Google himself.
No, I don't.
Yes, you are.
No. You fed me those little trivia cards as a kid all the time. And this is your payback.
Still, that's why you're Mr. Google.
We'll see. But all right, y'all, on with the show. October 31st, y'all. October 31st. And lo and behold, the title is, and let's see what it is. It's Spirit in the Dark. The title is Spirit in the Dark. And Maya Angelou, the writer, the poet, the national treasure, said, in spite of everything that was done to me and my race, in spite of the adversity and the bitter moments, again, we rise. I'll read that one more time. In spite of everything that was done to me and my race, in spite of the adversity and the bitter moments, again, we rise. To ask, what is the role of attitude in a person's success or failure? Is like asking, what is the role of water in the Atlantic Ocean? Attitude comes very close to determining success or failure. With a great attitude, a person can succeed, though he may start with little else. Attitude makes the sale or loses it. One evening, a young man took a shortcut home through the cemetery. As luck would have it, he fell into an open grave. He screamed and desperately tried to climb out, but to no avail. With no one to hear his pleas, he settled down in a darkened corner of the grave to wait for morning. A short time later, another man strolled along through the cemetery, taking the same shortcut home. And he too fell into the same grave. He started clawing and shouting, trying to get out, just as the first had done. Suddenly, the second fellow heard a voice out of the back corner of the grave say, "You might as well give up. You'll never get out." But he did. The most powerful thing you can do to change your circumstances is to change your attitude. So he said, you'll never get out, but he did. The most powerful thing you can do to change your circumstances is to change your attitude. It is attitude, not aptitude, that governs altitude. Mm-hmm. It is attitude, not aptitude, that governs altitude. We are not born with a drive to succeed. That quality comes from learning or experience, or both. But we are born with exuberance and curiosity. And when these qualities are combined with motivation and positive expectations, we can expect great results. Attitude, perhaps, or attitude helps to explain why some of the least likely people succeed beyond all expectations. This is why the timid young girl becomes a leading actress, or the boy with terribly burned legs becomes a world-class track star, or the kid with a low self-image goes on to make millions and carve a name for himself in industry and finance. On the other hand, our colleagues, our colleges, and universities are filled with sharp, articulate students who unfortunately will never reach their full potential because they lack the most vital ingredient of all: attitude, the great craving to succeed. And our affirmation for tonight, that will at least carry until, for the next, 11 hours or so, until the next show at 7 a.m. Remember, go to that YouTube, like, subscribe, get the notifications. But our affirmation for tonight is: I free myself from a negative or self-limiting attitude, and I welcome the opportunities that will come my way. One more time for the people in the back, or for the people that were just listening and missed it. Just listening passively, as I say. I free myself from a negative and self-limiting attitude, and I welcome the opportunities that will come my way. Spirit in the dark. Over to you, Mom. What you think about that one?
I like it. It's a little spooky, but I like it.
Yeah.
The spirit in the dark. It's interesting. I like the way they played this one out, with someone falling in there and then another falling in, and then saying, "You might as well give up. You'll never get out."
Mm-hmm.
How often do we hear that small voice, not from someone else, or loud voice inside of us, saying, "You'll never make it. Who do you think you are?" You know, but do we believe it? Do we take an attitude, the attitude of believing it, rather than being hopeful and having the right attitude, which is hopeful to me, which is meaning being hopeful, believing in receiving what you are asking for, asking in faith and expecting in faith. I remember the passage, I keep going back to it. It's not what you're carrying, it's how you carry it. It's not where you're going, it's how you decide to go, and who you choose to listen to. That quiet spirit of light, whether it's in the dark, whether you're in the dark or feel like you're in the dark or not. Do you listen with the light of God? Earlier this morning, I shared a reading that said, "Live life to the full. For with you is the fountain of life. In your light, in God's light, we see light, no matter how dark it seems to be." And if you take on an attitude of understanding that God is for you and God gave you life, as I mentioned earlier this morning, the greatest gift that God has given you is life. So why not have the best attitude towards it? Why not have these simple best? Brandon, I love this part of the affirmation that says, "And I will come, I I welcome the opportunities that will come my way." Reminds me of journaling through the scripture. Welcoming whatever. I'm a servant. Whatever you see, whatever is before me, God, you've seen fit to have it here. So it's happening for me. It's not happening to me. It's happening for me, for the better of me, right? And then your kingdom as well. Because when God's doing one thing, he's doing everything. And we make it so much about us, and most times has nothing to do with us. Most times, right?
Mhm.
God is using us. And if you're going to be used by the Most High God, have the right attitude. Have the right attitude. You know, as I listen to this about the outside world, I don't know, because we seemingly have come to be a people that accept any old thing from anybody. Like we really do. We don't hold people accountable. It's like something's wrong with holding people accountable. So we can do that with the right attitude. But the first person you got to hold accountable is yourself. And with the right attitude, will you listen? Will you listen to the spirit in the dark? Or will you know that the spirit of light is with you, even in the midst of darkness? So over to you, Brandon.
Thank you, Mom. That was powerful. I was getting into. I was a viewer for a moment. Forgot that I was co-hosting the show with you. So thank you for that. One thing that I noticed in this,
Yeah, I better hush
that
because you know I'll get long.
no, that's all good. I'm here for it. But one thing that I noticed about this is that the only reason, I guess it's different for both men. One evening, a young man. I think there's a reason that it takes place in the evening, and I think there's a reason that he says that it's a young man. And I think there's a even more of a reason why it says that he took a shortcut home.
Hmm.
When you're a young man, right, full of vigor, full of high expectations, which is good, uh, but also looking for a way to possibly cut a corner in order to get there, right? That's when you're more likely to take risks. You rarely see old men driving fast, right, in the highway. You can just about bet it's a young male. You know, 9 times out of 10, it's a young male. With that being said, you know, we're more willing to take on risks as young men, as young people in general, and so, or to take shortcuts in a sense. And so, I think it's no mistake that it was that this takes place in the evening and that it's a young man. So it sets a time and an age group for us to really watch out for, but also for people who aren't in that state. It may be something that you're new to, right? It may be a new skill that you could be, you know, 70 years old but learn something new, or have a new occupation. Hopefully maybe not at that age, but you might have a new job, a new skill that you have to learn, right? A new, like Deja we talked about, right? You see what I'm saying? And you can make the choice. That's somebody from earlier that my mom saw at it was her first day on the job, and she said that, "Excuse me, I'm sorry that I have a bad attitude today," but she was frustrated from learning on her first day at the job. And my mom was, to speak to what you said earlier this morning, was taken back at her transparency and saying that she, you know, did not have the best attitude, and apologizing for it and making some kind of effort to rectify that, right? So she said that she's a keeper to the young woman's manager. And so in that same sense though, we may take these shortcuts, and in doing so take a chance on walking through the cemetery and putting yourself in position to fall in a hole.
Hmm.
See what I'm saying? Had you gone the way that you know, the path that has been laid out in a sense, um, basically following the wisdom of people that have been there before you, right? I'm not saying you can't blaze your own path, but understand that there will be pitfalls that you did not expect. I'm not telling you not to blaze your own path and your own trail, but if you're trying to make a shortcut, just know that that comes with extra risks. There's a reason why that road is less traveled, right?
Hmm.
And you have to balance your own ambition, ingenuity, aptitude, even, right, and ability to really make the best decision for yourself. But if you take that route, you should be extra careful. You can't walk leisurely along in the same way. It's a cemetery, for crying out loud, right? No wonder there's an open grave. So he fell. He fell, looking for a shortcut to home or success, right? So please, y'all, check these metaphors in here. As we read these things, really be looking and listening for these deeper meanings, because I'm learning more and more every day that Dennis Kimbro is a great author.
Yes.
There are little gems in each of these stories and each of these motivations that you have to look a little harder to find sometimes. But if you have that time for contemplation, and the more you develop that critical thinking and that ability to really pull the most out of these things, I think the more you'll see. So my warning is to all of us to think about, when you're learning something new, before you try to do it your own way. I say this all the time to my students in jiu-jitsu. Learn it the way that it is, the way that it's been done before. Learn the rules. Even in music, when I took AP music theory, right? You learn the rules and then learn them and become great enough at them to where you can bend and break them and still make it sound good. But you can't start off breaking the rules of music, or it won't sound well.
Foundation.
Right? You have to have some type of foundation, some type of knowledge, some type of acumen. And the best place to get that is from the people that have been there before. This is why apprenticeships work so much better than someone just getting a job, right? Or learning in school, or learning by sitting at a desk. An apprenticeship will teach you more sometimes about electronics and electrical engineering sometimes than your actual university classes, right? And it can teach you many things very, very quickly and on the job. So don't be afraid to take that apprenticeship, to take that moment to maybe go learn a skill that you'd like to know before you start off this trail on your own. Before you start a business, do you even know how a business works? Do you know somebody that has a business that could use somebody with your skills? Join them. You know what I mean? But we love the idea of, I was successful.
I'm in
right?
charge.
I'm in charge, right? I'm the one who did this, right? But the most successful people, the most successful leaders, as we also learned in this book, are the people that take a little more of the blame when times are bad, and a little
Less of the
a little
credit.
less of the credit when times are good.
Yeah.
Right? So remember that true leaders take a little bit more of the blame when times are bad, and a little bit less of the credit when times are good, right? So if you're not leading with that type of integrity, then maybe you should go learn these skills, because I promise you, a business isn't, especially businesses of service or that involve providing some type of service to people, or a product even. A business isn't just crunching numbers, man. It's relationships, right? It's how you made the person feel, because people don't care what you know until they know that you care.
That's right.
I will go out of my way to spend more money at a place where I know they care about what they're putting in their food, or what their customer satisfaction rate is, right?
But their attitude.
Or their attitude.
There's some places that I absolutely loved, but after a few good attitudes or bad attitudes, I didn't give a blump, blump, blump. Never went back. I can remember one store, Casual Corner. I remember that store, and man, it changed. And I stopped going and stopped asking everybody to not buy me anything from there, because that was my store.
Yeah.
But give me an attitude one too many times, just as for the sake of having an attitude. Like nothing's really wrong. You just got an attitude about life, not just your life, but everybody else's, and you want to make everything and everybody miserable. How do you think, Brandon? What do you think about the one that said, "Don't you might as well stop because you're not gonna get out"? I could almost
Well,
see the
I
person
felt
saying,
I felt the same way that you felt on that, and that's why I didn't really touch on it too much here, because I felt that it was the same thing. It's like, once you do fall in the hole, right? And I think, in my opinion, it's the same person.
"Hmm,
That's just the way I look at it from my own, intellectual I guess my own intellectual curiosity and wanting it to be that way. But I see it as a parts of ourself, right? Because sometimes we fall in the same hole twice, y'all. We try to take the shortcut again.
The way to look at it.
You know what I'm saying? We fall
We
into
don't
the
get the
same,
lesson.
huh?
We don't get the lesson.
We don't always get the lesson on the
Yeah.
first time, right? And then once you don't get it, or you may try to succeed at something, right? And this is again going along with the story. Uh, we're talking about whether or not in the story one man falls inside of the hole in the cemetery trying to take a shortcut home, and he tries to get out but he can't get out, and now another man is walking taking a shortcut home and he falls in too, and the guy is sitting in the corner, hears a voice, and he says, you'll never get out, you might as well stop trying. But that man actually did get out, right? So I think what it is and what it represents to me, again, for my own kind of like projection onto it, is the fact that that's the same person, but he goes in and he makes the first mistake of leaving of making the same mistake twice. And so he has that little thought in his head, like, oh man, you just gonna do it again, or you're gonna be trapped here. There's nothing that you can do. You're gonna be trapped in this space 6 feet deep. You might as well wait for a brand new day, right? And miss all this time and be in the grave before you even have to be, right? Whereas the other man got out. He kept trying. Obviously, he tried again and again and again until finally he was successful and got out. But here's the kicker for me. If going along with my theory is true, that it's the same person. You laughing at me. You got me at nighttime. I'm up now, baby.
No, I just thought about something. It's funny that this is Daily Motivations for African American Success. And it's a male. You said it's a male. But y'all, now let's keep it real. How many brothers gonna really take a shortcut through the graveyard at night alone? Well, y'all, I mean, really.
It's like, nah, I ain't going. I ain't going. We taking the long way on the day.
You might take shortcuts, but I don't know one that's gonna take the shortcut through the graveyard by himself. Now with his homies, he might, but alone, I don't know. I'm about to ask Dennis Kimbro about this one now that I think about it.
Yeah. But I think here's the kicker though, Mom, and I'll wrap up with this.
Yeah, let's
Is
do that.
he got out. Part of him got out, but part of him didn't. So you got to leave that voice behind in the grave. You got to let that voice die. Y'all feel me? Like that other half of you, let's say that that's the same person. Keep that same, logic line, that it's really the same person falling in the grave twice, that same hole twice, making the same mistake twice. That's
Taking
when
the same shortcut.
Right. So that spirit in the dark is your own negative self-talk. Dang, I'm here again. I can't believe this. You just fixed your credit. Oh man, right back. I had the 789, 790, 800, whatever it is. And now back to 571, right? Or less. What am I gonna do? Right? So
Take
you can make this
again.
You're gonna take the shortcut again and then fall
right
back. But that voice is in the back of your head. You'll never get good credit. That's some white people stuff. Well, I'll never get this. That's this people's stuff. That's rich people stuff. That's smart people stuff. That's something that you're not. Right? That's that self-loathing. That's that that's creating self-hate, self-resentment. You got to leave that behind. You got to leave that 6 feet in the grave. Let that thing wait for morning. You don't know. It might rain. You might be in Memphis. It might rain and you stuck in a grave. We don't have time to sit around anymore, guys. So even if you make that same mistake, you can still turn out and get out. Turn out better than the person that sat in there and said, I'm just going to wait for another day. I'm going to wait for a handout. I'm going to wait for this president to come. I'm going to wait for that president to come. This is going to be the one that saves us, right? this is going to be the one that gives us reparations, or this is going to be the one that does this at the border or gets us more money, gives a stimulus check, whatever it is, right? No, like, you got to save yourself. No one is coming to save you. No, you can wait every morning. You can wait, like, to me, the election is waiting for morning. You better plant some seeds today, right? Because at the end of the day, only your head fits on your shoulders. Only your sins are on your record. Only your actions, only your actions are going to put you in a position wherever you want to be, or put you in a position that you don't want to be. So which voice are you going to listen to, right? Which voice are you going to listen to? Are you going to be the one that stays back and say, I'll just wait with you in the morning? Misery loves company. Or are you going to be the one to keep trying until you get out? And that's all I got, man.
All right, Brandon, will you read that? The definition of attitude.
Attitude, a settled way of thinking or feeling about someone or something, typically one that is reflected in a person's behavior.
And I want to focus on someone being you, being the one, right?
Right.
What is your behavior? What does it look like towards yourself? Because what you do to others, you're doing to you, right?
Right.
So keep that in mind, and let's make this a spirit in the light. And Brandon, let's not forget, in spite of everything that was done to me and my race, make this personal. In spite of everything that was done to me and my race, in spite of the adversity and the bitter moments, again, we rise. All right?
Right. Again, we rise. Out of that grave, again, you rise.
Rise.
Right. Out of that hole, out of that same mistake, out of that financial.
That might confirm what you said. Again, we rise, as if he's gotten out once before, like you were
Again.
talking about.
Yeah, that's just the way it felt for me. That's
Yeah.
the spirit of the writer that, from reading other parts of him. Like, now I know, like, had I never read anything from him, I might not have, like, sensed that. But having read him and getting to know kind of his rhetorical style and things like that, his writing style, his word choice, I think he did this on purpose. And like I said, we got to get Dennis Kimbro, man. If you are out there, Dennis, I know you wrote this in 1992, and this was a while back, but we would love to have you on the show. So if anybody can contact Dennis Kimbro, man, we would greatly appreciate it. We've been trying to get in touch with that brother. But before we go, Mom, the only thing that I saw left about attitude, since you brought that up, is what it says about the attitude helps to explain why some of the least likely people succeed beyond all expectation. Right? Attitude. What was it? What was it that got them that extra interview? What was it that put, that somehow landed their name on the page as opposed to someone else's? Mm-hmm. It could have been attitude, and it didn't just have to be the attitude that they had with someone else. It could be the attitude that they had about themselves, right?
Which in most cases, I think it is, Brandon. I think it's self-reflected, self-limiting, because our affirmation, doesn't it say something about self-limiting from our negative or self-limiting attitude? I hope I put all that. Yep. Yep. So, yeah, very interesting. I like this one.
I did too. There's so many other places we could take it, but y'all, we got to leave something up for your own self-contemplation and for further consideration, just with you. What did this story mean to you? I would love to get you guys' comments. So please leave us some comments. I'll be going back through there. My mother will be going back through there, looking at them. Who knows? Maybe I can give some replies. But let me know what y'all thought about this passage, Spirit in the Dark, right? Spirit in the Dark, with daily motivations for African American success. We are reading from this book. Please go get that book. You can buy it online, or order it probably anywhere books are sold. And it's a great read, high value, low cost book. All right. So that's all I got for you. You want me to read this out, man?
Yeah, let's read this out.
Let's read this out. All right. So quick review, y'all. Quick review. Today, October 31st. Our title is Spirit in the Dark. And Maya Angelou, the national treasure, and African-American national treasure, said that in spite of everything that was done to me and my race, in spite of the adversity and the bitter moments, again, we rise. And after a little longer of a passage, we came to our affirmation and daily motivation for the day. And it reads, I free myself. You can say this too. I free myself from a negative or self-limiting attitude. And I welcome the opportunities that will come my way. All right, take that with you. I free myself from a negative or self-limiting attitude, and I welcome the opportunities that will come my way. Thank y'all for rocking with us tonight. Whether you see this in the morning, at night, or whenever you see it, please go to the YouTube, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and we'll see you every morning at 7 a.m. until we finish this. All right? Much love, y'all. Take care.
Come on, Brandon. Come on.
You are not defeating no ducks.
Come on, Brandon.
The ducks are asleep. Now, rock.
They hungry, though. There you go.
Ducks eat.
They hungry for our food. Only our food, because we get good food, right? Come on. Come on.
Eat the
Let's
ducks.
eat.
It's the
Let's
name
eat.
of the song.
Let's
Eating.
eat. Which way? Go to your right. Go.
Okay. That's my right.
Go. We're trying to get in sync. Come on.
All right. Cool. There we go.
No,
Okay.
we're not.
You moving fast.
Because you ain't going to the beat, boy. You gotta
Well,
go
your
to-
beat is probably gonna be different. It might be a slight delay. Cause I'm hearing what you're hearing.
All right.
All right.
Spirit of light, not spirit of dark. Spirit of light.
Yeah.
Great. We'll be back 7 o'clock in the morning. You know, this is going to be interesting because we've been telling our regulars to turn on those notifications so that they know we're on.
Okay.
This
Cool.
will be interesting to see if they got it, right?
Yeah. Right.
Right?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who we got? Anybody?
Not in the comments because they probably don't know we're on.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
We're gonna get on tomorrow. All right, y'all. Take care. In the Season
All right.
Podcast. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Let us know if you want to be a part of the show, if you want to come on, be interviewed, anything like that. And I'll see you later.